Your team doesn't run from your planning timeline. It runs from a document that you can actually use on site. And for a lot of hosts, that document might not even exist yet. And that's why when you get on site, things feel blindsided. During planning, everything feels organized. Tasks are moving, deadlines are tracked, and meetings are happening. But then event week arrives, and everybody suddenly is coming to you to connect the dots. Why? Because planning your event and running your event are two different things, and they require two different documents. And the thing is, you're probably trying to use one for both. One of the biggest shifts that I had to learn about event operation is that your planning document is used to get you there, but it's your event logistics spreadsheet that helps you to actually execute on site. Those are two completely different jobs. And once you start to realize that, you understand why event days feels heavier. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what your project plan does and what your event logistics spreadsheet actually does, and how you can tell which one it is that you're currently working from. When you're planning an event, there's usually a lot of documents floating around. You've got your vendor folder, speaker notes, timeline, registration confirmations, production notes, internal communications, room setups, catering information, branding assets, and of course your budget. And sitting all above that is your project plan. This is the document that your team is working from in planning and building up to the event, and it does its job well. A project plan is built around getting to the event. It tracks what needs to happen, who owns it, what decisions still need to be made, what's been decided already, and what is still due and when. It's collaborative, it's operational, and it keeps everything moving so we can get to the event day itself. And that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Think about what your project plan is set up as right now. Maybe it's in Asana or ClickUp or Notion, or even just a Google Docs or Google Spreadsheet. You've got columns for speaker outreach, registration milestones, signage approvals, AV coordination, sponsor deliverables, catering confirmation, and social promotion. Tasks are assigned, deadlines are tracked, and status updates are moving. From a planning perspective, everything feels organized. But when event day comes, nobody is opening that document because it no longer is relevant. On site, nobody needs to know that the room layout was confirmed or settled 3 weeks ago. What they need to know is what the room should look like right now. Who is assigned to it? What AV is required in that room? When that room is supposed to be flipped for the next session? How many attendees are expected to be in there? And what happens next? That right there is a completely different document, and is where a lot of hosts get stuck. They assume that the planning document can just become the execution document, but your planning document and your execution document are set up very differently. An execution document is organized around reality. What's happening right now, in what room, at what time, with what resources, and who's covering it. By day, by time block, by room, by session, by what needs to happen next. So if your project plan isn't built to run the event, what is? An event logistics spreadsheet picks up where the project plan leaves off. The planning phase is done. Decisions have been made, vendors have been booked, the sessions are finalized, or at the very least, they're very close to being finalized. So now the question is, how does the event actually operate on site? And that's the job of the event logistics spreadsheet. And the biggest difference between this and the project plan is how they are set up. The project plan is structured around planning, while the event logistics spreadsheet is structured around execution. A real execution document is organized by day, by time, by session, by room, and by operational requirements. So instead of seeing a task that says confirm breakout sessions setup, your team will see 2 o'clock, breakout room B, classroom setup for 42 people, 2 handheld mics, confidence monitor, water to be reset during the transition, and Sarah's going to be handling the mics. Now your team can move because the information has been put in a way that they can see what is happening right then and there and what needs to be executed. And I know some of you are probably thinking, wait, isn't this basically a run of show? And there are some similarities, but they serve different purposes. A run of show is a little bit more production focused. It tracks stage movement, cue timings, transitions, your voice of God notes, speaker walk-ons, lighting, show calling, and technical production flow. It's built to run production. An event logistics spreadsheet is a little bit more broader. It's the operational document that your internal team works from start to finish of the event itself. It holds the bigger picture, the room setup, the staffing, the catering, AV requirements, room flips, transitions, guest flow, vendor coordination, and who's owning what at what different times. The run of show may sit within the ecosystem, but it's your event logistics spreadsheet that's going to keep the entire event focused and cohesive, not just what's happening on stage. So let's think about the morning of your event. Your team opens up the document. They no longer have to ask you or text you for information. They can immediately see what's happening in every room, who owns what, where the transitions might be a little tight, what catering is coming in and where, what rooms need resets and what AV requirements are needed for each of the rooms, what the guest counts are, and who's handling all the operational moves. That right there changes the entire feel of the event. Your team is no longer working from isolated silos. They can see the bigger picture. And this is why the spreadsheet matters so much. It reduces dependency. When the information lives in one place where all your team can access, it reduces the amount of questions that are coming to you because now they can just go into that document and see what's happening all on their own. And once you have that document in place, everything about planning this event and coordinating it becomes a little bit easier. There's finally one centralized document that holds the reality of the entire event. And this becomes not only useful for you and your team, but for you with your vendors. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to give your vendors the entire document. You can if you choose to, but a lot of the times there are internal notes that are specifically just for your internal team. But what you can do now with this document is copy the relevant pieces and hand it off to the specific vendors. For instance, catering, copy that section, give it over to your catering team. AV requirements for the rooms, you can give the room information as well as all the AV needs to the AV team. For your vendors as a whole, your venue, you can have all the information about room setup, capacity, as well as the AV information and send that off to them. And every time that you update the information on this spreadsheet, you just copy and paste it and send off the updated version. That way, those teams have the updated information. They can see exactly what it is you're doing from start to finish, and they can build their notes around that. So now, instead of rebuilding everything from scratch every time somebody asks you for updated information, you're distributing aligned information from one source. And that changes the entire communication dynamic because now your vendors are getting the exact same information that your team is seeing. And if you're doing a pre-con with your venue, this document is the one that you can have on your screen or print it out and you can go through line by line as you go through the BEOs. This way you can check to make sure that the venue has everything that you have on your spreadsheet. It's basically one centralized operational picture that once it exists, you no longer have to be the one connecting the dots. If you want to see where your event planning setup actually stands right now, I have a free assessment called the Event Pulse Check. It only takes a few minutes and you'll get your results right away. It'll show you exactly where your event is supporting you and what areas are still depending on you. The link is down in the description, but before you go, I want to give you one quick diagnostic so that you can determine which document it is that you're working from. Open whatever it is you're currently using working on your next event or on your previous one. And then ask yourself one question. Is this document built for planning or for execution? If it's organized around tasks, deadlines, statuses, approvals, ownerships, and work streams, that's a project plan. And there's nothing wrong with that because you absolutely need one. But now ask yourself the follow-up question. Can someone on event day open up this document and know immediately what is happening in every room? What each session requires, who's responsible for what, and what happens next without asking you a single question? That right there is the real test. When the project plan is complete, when the decisions have been made, and the tasks are done, what document actually runs the event? And for a lot of hosts, the honest answer is that there isn't one yet. Or that we kind of piece it together from the project plan, the run of show, plus a few other things that we just pull together. Which means that the event is still depending on you to connect all the dots. And just to be clear, you don't need to rebuild this overnight, and you don't even need to rebuild it this week. You just need to be aware of it so that you can understand what's missing and stop questioning yourself and stretching yourself on site. The structure you have just wasn't designed to carry the event for you. So if you've just realized that your current setup is strong for planning but weak for execution, that alone is an important thing to see. And this is exactly where a lot of people start understanding why things feel heavier when they're on site. Your event just didn't have a centralized document that showed an operational overview of everything. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what not having one costs you. The hidden consequences of not having a true execution document. And why so many hosts end their events feeling relieved instead of proud. And the thing is, I want you to feel proud of your event. Go ahead and click the video on your screen and I'll walk you through it.